Hi guys, good evening. I'm going to do on React.js applications with the backend Node.js and MongoDB. So initially, I'm going to do on download on Bootstrap template for creating an app form. Okay, it's already available in Google, so I'm going to download that one. So I'm going to share my screen now. Initially, we will go with a registration form. Okay. Before that, I hope you guys know about what is React.js and how we need to install those packages in our system. So if you don't know, please follow my videos. For sure, you will come to know how to install the React.js and Node.js, MongoDB, and other stuffs. Okay, fine. Okay, this form looks good. So I go with this one. Okay. Here we have an HTML and here we have a CSS. So it is simple to do this one. Okay, now I am proceed with this one. I'm going to choose my folder. So here the React projects repository. So here I'm going to create an app. Okay, using create React app sign up form. Okay. Create, I guess all you know about what is create React app, what it will do. Okay. Once you install this package in your system, then it will create an app name for you. So now I am going to install one packages. Sorry, creating a project now. Sign up. This sign up is my project name. Okay, meanwhile we will do on Node.js applications, okay, in different folder. The Node.js server, usually we need to give npm init. This command, sorry, here we don't need, okay, because we need to create on folder for our application. So make directory is the command to creating a folder. Signer, the same folder name here. cd signer. We are going to give this npm init. The sense it will give package.json. So here we will need to add on server.js files to running our system. Before that, it will ask some questions: package name, author, session, something. Okay, you will give an empty, or else if you want to give something, you will give. That's not an issue. You won't give anything. So it will finally it will ask, is this okay? Yes. Yes. Okay, now it's ready. Okay, it's almost done. So we need to use sign up here. Okay. Okay, this is for backend. This is for frontend. We will wait and see. Go to Node.js official documentation. Okay, this is a common file to creating a server. So now I'm going to use this one. We'll create on file server.js and paste your code. You just simply run the code like node sorry, so the file name. What you give in your folder, you just give. It will now it's runs your server. Okay, HTTP. Okay. Instead of port number, you will give localhost. For better understanding, I'm giving you local. Whenever we are doing changes, it won't automatically runs. So I need to I need my server automatically runs. Whenever I'm changing anything in my editor, it automatically runs. That's the reason we have on package node-man. So once we need to install that package in our server, then you will give a node-man following by the file name. It will automatically runs whenever you are changing it in your file, it automatically runs. Okay, now I am going to installing that node-man packages. So please watch clear. npm install node-man. Okay, meanwhile we will see here. Okay, now our front end is fine. Okay, you just omit first four things. Okay, initially you just focus on this thing: cd your folder name, then eon start. Okay, we have only npm, so we simply give an npm start. It automatically loads our files and shows in a default browser. Okay. In my system, I have a default browser is IE, so it will open the files in IE. Okay. Here we are seeing, okay, successfully we are installing Roadman. Now how we need to run means Nodman server. Okay. If I am going to change anything, 3000, no, 3001, I'm going it automatically re-rendering. So no issues. Okay. It is running in the port localhost 3000. Okay. If front end and back end will be the same port number, it will ask. React will ask already the port number is running on your server. So would I continue with another port? So simply we need to give a yes. So it automatically given another port number. If I am working with a localhost 3000 in a backend means it will work in a 3001. Okay, got it? Localhost 3000 is our front end. Okay. Okay, finally we have on our front end applications without any issues. Okay, now we need to change our designs. Edit. This is a default template which given by the Facebook. We need to change. Okay, I'm going to copy this JS and CSS things. We have a folder sign up public index.html. Here we need to give your CSS files. Okay, then your JS file. After the div command, here we need to give an JS file. Fine. Now we have an CSS and JS file. That's fine. Now we need to get this HTML page. Okay. This is fine. Index.js, initially it is rendering component by app. Okay, app.js. Here is the page we need to change our source. So for example, I'm going to give my some changes in front end. It will automatically, okay, it will automatically reloads and shows our changes. Okay, fine. Now this thing is fine. This also fine. Okay, we have created a front end and as well as a back end. Now going to create an components. Okay, why? Okay, simply I'm put this HTML content for here. That is okay. Please watch carefully. Here, there is an error. Parsing error. Expected JXX elements. Okay. Whenever we are working in an HTML, we missed to closing the tag input. Finally, we did not close this tag in proper manner. So it will throw error JSX closing tags element for input. So it shows in line 46. So we need to make some look on this. It's not a big issue. So fine. For every attributes, it's closing properly. But on another one, gender, same. Now it looks good. Okay. Still, we did not get on our proper HTML design. The thing is, we need to use CSS. Okay. If we use this CSS, then probably it will show some proper HTML page design. Okay, fine. Our front end also ready. Okay, we don't need to use this employee array. Okay, we need only the sample for field is enough to do some thread operations. Okay, initially we don't need a much attributes for here. So I'm going to remove all those things. Before that, I'm going to create one components folders to creating components. In that file, I'm going to create sign up .js. Import React from React. Here I'm going to create one class components. Sign up extends React dot inside we have a render method and the return type. Fine. We need to give export. Okay, it's not a problem. Here I am going to give an export default keyword and the file name. Sorry, components name. Render. I'm going to give some sample text over here. Sample text over here. Sample. Okay, fine. Now we have created one components. We need to use that component in our app.js import. Okay, import sign up from. We need to give the exact components. Sign up. Sign up. Fine. Now we need to use this thing. Okay, fine. Now it's working. Fine. The same error. 46 here and here. Okay, now looks good. Okay, as I said, we don't need any data employees like we need only the sample data. Sorry, 4 data is enough. First name, last name. Okay, okay. We don't need these options. Employee. And now it's good to look. We don't need a login under the steps. Tech. No channel name. Welcome, welcome to Tech. Hi. It's good. Okay. Now we have one form. Okay. Actually submit. We need to do. We need to create a constructor over here. Constructor. I'm going to initial state. Mobile number. To give a name for the attributes. Now we created a state value submit button. So here we need this dot submit validate form function. Okay. I'm going to use this. I'm going to bind this function in constructor. Same way we need to give our class instead of class we need to give class name as per React rules we need to use class name. Okay, fine. Change. It's working fine. Now we need to do another function on change. Again the same rules. Fine. It's working good. Why I'm giving name and values? Actually, we have a different name here. Okay, whenever we are changing, so okay, whenever we are changing on value for the particular attributes, it will use the values and as well as the name field. Okay, based on the name, we will differentiate the values also. So I'm going to use the onChange input functions for all text box for to getting values from a particular text box. Okay, I will give an console here. Okay, first name we are giving a value. Values. Okay, now we are getting a value here. If it is an first name value, and now I'm going to give a value for email. Okay, now we get a name as well as the value. Fine. Now everything was working good. So we're going to add a validation here. The since we are changing, but we did not setting that value to the parameter. That's the reason. So yes, I got it idea. This dot sets state. I guess it's working fine. Okay. The meaning of this line is whenever we are getting value from for a particular field, it will set the value. So this dot state our first name. Now the value is whenever we are changing anything, it automatically renders and it will give the corresponding value for the particular field. Now we done validations. Fonts, dots, name, user, this dot state dot yes. If first name is dot state. So initially we will given some alert to check whether the values already exist or not. Fine, it's working good. Okay, we need to give some catch error. So if it is an error, we need to show some borders. Yeah, that's good. If it is an error, we need to set a value. How? Okay, I will say start border index red. This- Oh my god, showing something. Oh, we missed two. Okay, now it's good. Okay, fine. We don't need initially. We don't need whenever the first name is not. Then we need to show this error. I'm going to do some condition, ternary conditions. Okay. Now I'm going to do first name error. False. Okay, good. Got it. Okay, the same way we need to use this for every parameters. Okay. And same ternary condition we need to follow for every attribute. Okay. Here we need to change that variable. Post, email, password, mobile. Uh, now we will see. Fine, looks good. Now we have completed a value. Okay. Once it is fixed, then it won't appear. Looks good. Now we have an perfect validation. If you need any validations, kind of email and for perfect mobile number, you just to follow regular patterns to validate your email whether it's fine, valid email or not. The same way we need to follow the same structure for the mobile number. I have so the request pattern, request validation for email, JavaScript. Fine. If you need a perfect validation for your form, then follow the steps. Probably, probably it will give some proper solutions to you, and it will make a more catchy for your sites. Okay, now we have created this one. Fine. Then we need to post this data to database. For that, we need a middleware connection. Middleware, in the sense, we need to get, we need to send those data to form data to backend service. For that, we need access, okay, to sending data to database and getting a response from the database. For that purpose, now we are going to use access this package. Here we need to use, initially we need a setup for access AXIOS. Okay, fine. Then you go and do some research on access. So what is access? Why it is named access. Fine. We have a perfect post example here. So we just simply copy that down. And we don't need this. We don't need this. We need this one. Okay. Once again, if everything fine, we need to send those data. Okay, that's cool. Instead of sending, okay, instead of sending a object here, we will form one object for our form. Uh, Now let's try. Instead of sending object data over there, it's simply using this one. Okay, fine. Oh, it's good. It's good. Yes, yes, yes. Constructing form data. Posting that data. Oh, still it's downloading. We will wait some time to get a. Oh, yeah. Now we are ready for posting our data to database. That's good. Meanwhile, we will do some migration here. Okay, backend. Okay. We already created a backend for our application server.js. Now we have created everything. Okay, now I am going to use the Express framework for our Node.js to make better performance. I'm going to use Express framework. So I can say Express and okay, now we will use this one. Cool. It's, okay, now okay. Meanwhile, our front end also is ready. So I'm going to restore in this application. Okay, we don't have anything. Now we have our form data, and also there is an error. User. Why? Because we did not create a backend API, so we need to create an API for that. Okay. Instead of sign up user, I'm going to use sign up. Okay. The same URL we need to create in our backend. That means in Node.js. Okay. Express. Now it's fine. No, man. So Express. Okay. Right here. We need to create an app using the app. Okay. Instead of server here, we don't need this stuff over here. Now we need to use Express framework functionalities. Okay, now it's ready, I guess. Yeah. Understood. Now I'm going to create on URL API. So app dot post in post method user function. It is a callback in to get data from a backend, and as well as we need to send a response to the user. Side. Okay. Now we are using a localhost 3001, so we need to use the different URL. So we don't have a same URL API. Okay, backend server is running on 3001. We need to give the complete URL here. That's an error. Okay, you guys all know what is port share. Okay, I'm in a 3000 port, but I need to access the value from one 3001 port number. Okay, for that we need to resolve this issue. Okay, if you search in a Google, it will give the solution by we need to use a cost package in our backend. Then the problem it will solve. Okay, I'm going to use the cost package in our backend to avoid this cross origin request to sharing problem. OS course. Okay. Simply you just Google it and course. Okay. Then sorry, using the course. That's enough to avoid that issue. First time it won't happen again. Sorry. Now I'm running our server. Now we will look for the result. Okay. Now there is no issues. Okay, we did not get any response. Okay, we just make a look. Okay. Uh, while printing our body, it's sending undefined value. Okay. The reason we are sending a data another host to another server. The thing is we need to use some package to recognize the server. This is a JSON data. If I'm going to use this backend URL in some third-party packages called advanced REST client or else a postman, we need to use the body process packages. In order to avoid that post forming data, we need to use body process. Then probably we need to install that package in our backend service. Okay, as well as already we faced a cost origin problem. Okay, the same way we need to follow the same thing cost. Okay, I will do and explain you clearly. Body processor emojis. You just look these documentations. Whenever you have a time, you just go through this documentation. I can say this is a okay. Okay. Actually, the command line is application XW URL encoder. In the sense, whenever we are posting our API data from any third party packages, we need to use this one. Okay, I'm going to show this applications here. XWW form encoder. Okay, the same way we are sending a data as JSON, so we need to use those things. Okay, this is not essential now. Okay, but in future we need to test our APIs in our third-party packages, like as I said in advanced REST client or else in Postman, we need to use this. So we will go with this one. Okay, fine. Okay, the header, it shows the request URL and what are the parameters we are sending. Okay, fine. Now we will go and check with them. Okay, so we need to, we forget to run the server. Body server is not defined. Fine. The thing is we need to import that package in our server. We forget to add that client. Now, okay, say to what? Looks cool. Oh, it's okay. Okay, now we are getting a data. Okay, we have completed API creations as well as front end. Okay, now we need to create one database to storing that value. Here, as I already mentioned to you guys, to install supported packages for MongoDB. This is an installation MongoDB. Just okay. Here you will get an latest current release packages. You just click and the same way you need to install RoboMongo CLI. RoboMongo. Okay. Here we need to double click and it will execute in your system. Okay. Once you done this one, we will look RoboMongo. Okay. Create one database for your applications. Just right click and click sign up. Create on collections called register. So users. Okay, fine. Now we need to post our data particularly in this database. Okay. For that, initially we need to connect that database in our applications. That means in our backend. Okay. I'm going to use a Mongoose to connecting our database. database connection localhost, and okay, our database name. Yeah, sign up is our database. Okay, now we created this one. Okay. We need to define schema models, okay, to inserting our data in our database. Here we are getting, here we need to give all this schema. Instead of the schema, I'm going to give sign up schema. Bookstore, here we need to give our collections name, sorry, the tables name. Users, user, 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 user one. We will follow the same structure. Okay. What are the parameters now we are following? First name, email, password, mobile. First name. Okay. We created one schema. Okay. We need to get values from a front end. Sorry. What do you His name was fine. Now we have our inputs in this field. We have created a schema and model, and now we need to pass our data here. Instead of static data, I'm going to give a dynamic data. Already we have the same thing here, so I'm just copying this. Yeah, it's looks better. Now everything is ready. Data. Okay, now we have created a sign-up schema and everything is fine. User stable, user model name, and everything fine. Okay. Um, model cursor. We need to restart our server. Wow, we get a positive response from a database. This looks good. Now we need to check in our database. Yeah, thing is working fine. First name, last name, everything is good. That's good. Okay. Based on the response, we need to show some information to the users whether your passing data is really successful or not. Okay. Response. Right. So instead of this one, we will show some swal alert. That's Fine. Based on response, it's saying success response. Okay, this is a simple Node.js with no MongoDB connections. Okay, just to follow this video step by step, then for probably you will get an answer. If you have any issues, please ping. Okay, bye guys.